I love Germany, but there are just some things that I think the USA does better. Hey everyone, I'm Donna and you're watching Wanted Adventure Living Abroad. Now, before anyone gets upset, I'm also making a video about some of the things that I think Germany does better than the USA. And so then it will all be balanced again. That video is coming on another Sunday. But one of these videos had to come out first, and I picked this one. Customer service. Let's start with an easy one. Customer service. Come on. The USA is practically known for its customer service. I talked about this in the grocery store video. Customers in America are king. They can almost always return things, a lot of times, even without a receipt. Satisfaction, guaranteed, or your money back is a phrase that is often used in the US. And there's just this overall care and concern given toward keeping the customers happy. Sometimes customer service in the US does even go a little bit overboard. I worked in the service industry in the US, and sometimes it was really annoying when we had to be super polite, even to the most pain-in-the-butt customers. But on the other hand, I, as a customer, really do appreciate that level of customer support and in general enjoy being a customer more in the US than in Germany. Restrooms? Free. In the US, I don't think I've ever had to pay to use a restroom. And I gotta say, I definitely appreciate that. I actually had no idea while I was living there that it was something that I needed to appreciate. I took it for granted. But now, whenever I go back to visit the US, I appreciate it. I definitely think that free toilets is the way to go. In the US, they're even free on the highway, which totally makes sense because, I mean, yeah, I usually spend money there at the rest stop anyway on gas and food and drinks. Sometimes a lot of money. So I think that having to pay to use the toilets on top of that is really just too much. Here in Munich, I've seen it that sometimes even at restaurants I am eating at, there's a plate out there in front of the restroom for you to put money on. No. Just no. If I'm eating at your establishment, the restroom should be absolutely positively free with not even the slightest bit of pressure to pay. That means no plate by the door, nothing, no pressure, absolutely free. National parks. The national parks in the US are amazing. I've only seen a handful of them so far, but I'm really looking forward to getting to visit more of them. What makes them so amazing? Well, first of all, it's the nature in the parks itself. The flora and fauna and geological formations in the national parks in the US are just incredible. Absolutely breathtaking views and amazing diversity around the country, just so many different kinds of things to see. But then there's also what the national parks have brought to the park experience, namely the rangers in the parks who are very happy to answer whatever questions you might have. And then there are also tours to go on and just lots and lots of information about what you're seeing. There are often evening talks, interactive presentations, stargazing at night with telescopes that you can look through. And again, information about what you're actually seeing up there. So just really a lot of resources and very interesting hands-on stuff to experience. The food. I don't know. I think this one might be the most controversial one of this video, actually. I hear so many people in Germany saying that America only has fast food. There's no good food in America. I was actually really stunned the first time that I heard someone say that. Because, yeah, okay, the US definitely does have fast food places, but it's also home to lots of other kinds of food. Food from all over the world, all different kinds of flavors and tastes and styles and new creations and combinations and innovative ways of preparing those foods popping up all the time. I would say that at least 95% of the best meals I can ever remember having in my life happened in the US. So yeah, I'm saying it. I'm sorry. I like the food in the USA more. There, I've said it. Being friendly and optimistic. I've talked about this one in a lot more detail in several Ask an American videos, which I will link to down below. But yeah, in the US, I learned from an early age to try to be optimistic, that it's better to be optimistic than pessimistic. See the bright side of things, look for the silver lining in a bad situation. And while I have grown to realize that sometimes it is very important to allow yourself to feel sad or other negative feelings, I do overall, in general, appreciate this optimistic outlook on life. And as far as being friendly, in the US, it is definitely common for people you don't know to give you a compliment, make small talk in the grocery store. Make small talk in general. One example for this that Mr. German Man always likes to give is that when we went to Yellowstone National Park a few years ago, there was this cute little chirping squirrel in the bushes that Stefan and I went over to check out. And then another woman also came over to check out the same squirrel. And somehow the three of us started chatting. First about the squirrel, then about the fact that Stefan and I lived in Germany. And before we knew it, she was telling us about her kids and sharing stories with us and showing us photos of her son who, if I remember correctly, was studying in Europe. And an example for this that I like to share is the first time that Mr. German Man came back with me to the US, we drove on a highway with my parents and we had to stop to pay a toll. We pulled up to the toll attendant and he was smiling at us. He greeted us really warmly and asked us how we were doing, made quick little small talk as we paid, and then my mom, who was driving, said goodbye to him using his first name. Mr. German Man was stunned. He was like, "Who was that? Did you know him? Who was that guy?" No, we didn't know him. My mom just read his name off of his name tag and the rest of it was just kind of normal friendliness. Yeah, Mr. German Man was pretty shocked. So my question for you is, what do you think of these items? Do you agree, disagree? And what, if anything, do you think the USA does better than other countries? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to keep an eye out for the video on things that I think Germany does better than the US. And a really big thank you so much to our patrons on Patreon who help make these videos possible. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to check out our Patreon page, you can find a link to that down in the description box below. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen. Okay. Make small talk with you in the grocery store. But then there's also the national park. What? Good? Mm-hmm. Did that make sense? Mm-hmm. Somewhat? Mm-hmm. Okay. Action. Action. Let's go. I'm ready.